Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would make a video about what I hope to plan to read during the summer. And I was just going to do a July TBR, but we're already a week in, so I figured that's pointless. I'm just going to share a few books that I hope to get to this summer. I know I won't get to all of them, but these are just some stuff that I've been thinking about if they have to do with certain reading events or just have to like a summery feel in general. I thought I would give them a try and I'll share them with you and see if you guys have read any of these. Now, if you've watched any of my videos before, you know that I don't really stick very well to a TBR. I have a difficult time getting through a lot of physical books, so I do switch over to audio quite a bit. And audio I tend to just get from the library. But these are all books that I own that I would like to try to read at some point this summer. So yeah, let's go through it. So as far as currently reading, right now I'm listening to the audiobook for Dragonfly and Amber by Diana Gabaldon. I'm always unsure if I say her name correctly, but this is book 2 in her Outlander series. These are really long books, but I absolutely love them. If you have never heard of this series, they're basically historical fiction. They have a little bit to do with time travel. There's romance, there's mystery, there's action and adventure. And I feel like most people either really, really love her or they really don't like these books. So I am one of the people that loves this series. And this will be a reread for me. I have read through book 4, Drums of Autumn, but I want to get back into it and kind of get caught up. So I've been listening to the audiobooks just to, get me caught up, and these audiobooks are excellent. So I just kind of like pick this up on and off in between other audiobooks that I'm doing, and right now I'm in between. So I have been listening to this and it's fantastic as audio. It's so good. So that's that one. I also was really hoping to participate in Jane Austen July. This will be my first time ever reading Jane Austen, if you can believe it. I've never read any of her books, and I didn't really have a huge desire or curiosity about reading anything by her until I joined BookTube, and I heard so many people raving about her books and just, so many people in love with these stories. So I waited till July, I waited till now, and these are the 2 books that I hope to get to this month. So I really hope to give Northhanger Abby a try. I know absolutely nothing about this book. I don't even know one single character's name. I don't know the plot at all. These are going to be completely blind reads for me. I'm just going to jump right in and see how it goes. And this one looks like it's pretty short, so I am hoping I can definitely get to this one this summer. And this is my first time buying a Penguin English Library book, and I like them pretty well. There's so many editions, oh my gosh, of Jane Austen's books. It was really hard to decide. I also picked up this one because I'm also hoping to read Sense and Sensibility. And this edition is one of the Penguin vintage ones. And I thought this was going to be the edition that I wanted to have in my collection because I do think they're really pretty. It's just that I'm not sure how good the quality actually is. I forgot that I already had some Penguin Vintage Library ones. I have some Russian classics in Ekaterina and Master Margarita, and they have not held up well. The covers have really not done well, and even this one you can see is peeling a little bit. So I probably won't be purchasing any more in this collection. They're also hard to keep open. Like it just doesn't want to, there's no floppiness. So although they look pretty and they have these nice French flaps and they're just beautiful, sadly, I don't think these are the editions for me. These ones seem to feel really nice to read. They feel nice in my hands, so I may collect these ones to be the ones that I read. And then I have seen some other beautiful ones that maybe I'll collect someday if I like her. So yeah, those are the 2 for Jane Austen July that I would like to try. I'm also doing another reading event called Private Eye July. And this one is focused on reading books about investigation, private eyes. There's certain criteria and rules. This one is hosted by Jim at Mystery of the Mayhem with a bunch of other co-hosts I'll list below. And I have started a few chapters into a book called The Fine Art of Detecting. I think that's the name. I'm pretty sure. And I'll put a picture of it here. And I kind of jumped into this. I didn't really look at the plot too deeply. I do know it takes place in Japan and London, and there's a mystery surrounding the death of one of their clients' fathers. And so we're just getting started. But what I like about it so far is you jump right in. You jump right into the case. You're learning all the details, and so it seems to be a pretty quick page turner. So I am enjoying that so far. And then, sorry, I lied. I am also participating in the Summer of Sport. This one is, well, it was created by Mark from Book Time with Elvis and hosted with, again, a bunch of other hosts. I forgot to mention, I'm not sure who created Jane Austen July, but I will leave all the information below. So I have 3 books left that I would like to get to for this, but I'm not positive that I will have time. But the 3 books I have picked are The Summer of 49 by David Halberstan. And this is a book focused on baseball. It's nonfiction. It focuses on the rivalry, or let's see exactly the 2 rivals, the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox. Being a Yankees fan myself, the Boston Red Sox are, I would say, the team that I don't like the most, which is difficult because my sister went to university. She got her master's degree in Boston and lived there for a while. So she converted over to a Red Sox fan, much to the dismay of the rest of us. But I thought I would give it a try. It's pretty big, but I have heard the reviews on this are really good. So we'll see. We'll see if it's enough to keep my attention. If I pace myself, maybe I can get through it before the end of summer. And then the 2 sporty books that I'm more excited to read about, just because I'm a little bit more interested in the sport, are about figure skating. So just quickly, this is a somewhat memoir by Katarina Witt, if you guys remember her from the 90s, German figure skater, German Olympic figure skater. And it's not too long, but it just goes into kind of her life and her experience as a skater. So I'm looking forward to that for sure. And then finally, we have my Sergei, a love story by Katarina Gordeeva. And this will be a reread. I read this when I was probably, 17, 18 when it came out. And I loved these 2 figure skaters. They were a married couple who were pairs, figure skaters from Russia. I love their story. They won the Olympics. Was it 94, 96? I think it was 94, I remember. I don't know. I just was obsessed with them. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this again. If I can get to it, I'm going to read Katarina first. Okay, so the next book that I'm hoping to get to, this is a library book, so I kind of am on limited time with this, but it's called The Winter Orphan by Kristin Beck. And this is a novel about the real life characters of Swiss volunteer Rosalie Neff and Anne-Marie Pigut. I discovered this book because I was helping my daughter, I think, with some homework, or it might have been after I read the book Night, that talked about the guy's personal story of being a teenager during the Holocaust and having to live in the concentration camps. But this focuses on these 2 women who had a common mission to protect children in peril. One of them was a nurse, and she directs the colony of Chateau de la Hill, and she has created a thriving community against all odds. Then we have Anne-Marie, who was raised by Swiss foresters, who becomes both a caretaker and friend to the children, and she vows to do whatever is necessary to keep them safe. So when Germany invades South France, safeguarding Jewish refugees becomes impossible. Chateau de la Hill faces unrelenting danger, and Rosalie and Anne-Marie realize that the only way to protect their eldest charges is to smuggle them out of France. Relying on Rosalie's fierce will and Anne-Marie's knowledge of secret mountain paths, they plot escape routes through vast Nazi-occupied territory to the distant border. Amid staggering risks, Ella and Hane embark on a journey that, if successful, could change the course of their lives and grant them a future. So this just sounded so good. Learning about these brave women, these really inspirational women that I had never heard of before. And it's sad to me that I wouldn't have, because that's a pretty amazing thing that they would have done. So yeah, hoping to get to this one. It sounds really good. And then just real quickly, I have a couple books off my shelf. I've already said this multiple times, but I would really like to get to Candide. It's part of the Greatest Books of All Time challenge, and I'm just at a stagnant stop with this project. But I would really, really hope to maybe do this one because it's not too long. So while a lot of you are having the what is it? The big books of summer moment. I'm in my little books of summer moment, my small books of summer era for sure. And another book that I definitely hope to get to this summer, and I've already started, is my nonfiction pick called Summer. Well, I have a bunch of nonfiction picks, but my nonfiction nature pick. And this is called Summer World, A Season of Bounty by Bernd Heinrich. And I have read, let me see, I know I have it right here. A few years ago, I did read his other book called Winter World, The Ingenuity of Animal Survival, which focused a lot on hibernation, how animals survive the cold, what happens to the plants and trees in the area. And I really, really loved it. I enjoyed it so much. And I keep meaning to reread this, but I did pick up a copy of Summer World because I really like his writing. It's very easy to read. I mean, it can feel a little bit academic in some parts when he gets kind of detailed, but he's a naturalist. What is he? He's a professor. Yeah, he's a professor of biology at the University of Vermont, and he divides his time between Vermont and the forests of western Maine. So he has a cabin in Maine. He spends a lot of time up there just observing the natural wildlife around him and learning, and he shares his findings in a book. So I do hope to stretch this out over the summer. I already have it tabbed with how far I need to read for July, August, and September to get me through. And I just really love learning about the world around me, and I think it'll be really interesting. It might not be quite as interesting as Winter World because I am a bit more fascinated with the winter and what happens, but I know I'm going to really enjoy it. Yeah. So the next book I want to try to get to at some point this summer is called A Month in the Country by J.L. Carr, and it's also very short. This was a birthday present from a very wonderful, amazing friend, and I would like to get to it this summer. I don't know much about it, but I have heard it's a classic, and a lot of you, at least I saw on Goodreads, have read it and really enjoyed it. So I'm not quite sure what it's about. It's historical. I don't know when it was written, actually. I'm curious about that. When was this written? Written in 1980. Okay, so it's historical, maybe? I don't know. I would read the back, but it's so dark in here and I can't see. My contacts they're just getting blurry as the night goes on. So yeah, A Month in the Country. I really hope I can get to this one. Next we have Into the Wild by Jon Krakauer, and this is a true story of a young man. It took place in 1992. He basically hitchhikes to Alaska. He walks alone in the wilderness south of Mount McKinney. His name was Christopher Johnson McCandles. He had given $25,000 in his savings to charity, abandoned his car and most of his possessions, burned all the cash in his wallet, and invented a new life for himself. And then his body was found by a moose hunter in the wild. So this tells his story of what went on. And yeah, so that's a nice cozy read for this summer. But I do love stories like these. I really do. So yeah, looking forward to that one as well. I have another small book. This is Fred Rogers, The Last Interview, with an introduction by David Bianculli. Now this I borrowed from my brother, so I really want to read it and get it back to him. And I think I could get through this pretty quickly if I just sat down and read it. But Fred Rogers is one of my most favorite people, one of my favorite celebrities, and if there's one person I could meet, if there's anybody I could meet, I would love to meet him and just be in his presence, because I feel like he was one of those people that you really felt comfortable and accepted by. I think he just had that energy where he didn't judge and he was just so kind and accepting. So yeah, I would love to read something by him or about him. Yeah, I did read a book called The Good Neighbor. I think that was his memoir, and oh my gosh, I loved it. I had tears in my eyes. He's just was such a wonderful person. I love Fred Rogers. Okay, final two. I've mentioned this one before too, but this one is called Nahassani, Fire Observer, an Adirondack Woman's Summer of 1942. This was actually written by a really good family friend, and it just tells her story of when she lived in a fire tower by herself in the Adirondack Mountains in the 1940s. And I just think this will be really interesting. I love the Adirondack Mountains. They're a mountain range here in upstate New York, and they're beautiful, and I visit them every summer. And I think it'll be great to read this time of year. Okay, and finally, I have a book called The Ocean at the End of the Lane. This is by Neil Gaiman. I've never read anything by Neil Gaiman. I don't care that he's canceled. I don't care about any of the drama going on with him. I still want to read some of his books. So yeah. So I don't really know too much about this, but I've had it for a while and it's very short. So if I have time, I would love to get to this one and just mark it off my checklist. So those are my small books of summer, mostly small books of summer that I really hope to get to over the next couple months. And I would love to know if you guys have read any of these and what your thoughts have been, if you enjoyed them, if you didn't think they were that great. I'm looking forward to them. My only wish is I wish that I had more time to sit down and like actually read a whole book in one day. That would be amazing. So yeah. But yeah, like I said, it is what it is. I just try my best and they'll always just go back on a new TBR at a different time if I don't get to them. But anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you're all doing well and taking good care of yourselves. And I really appreciate each and every one of you that come and visit my channel and leave me a nice comment just to let me know you're there. So thank you and take care everyone, and I'll see you in my next video.